Okay, so the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing some housekeeping of their own. They signed Bryan Rust to a 4-year, $14 million contract, carries an average value of $3.5 million. What this means is Bryan Rust now makes a little more than Connor Sherry, or Sherry, sorry, half a million more than Connor Sherry, but he's got 2 more years on his contract right now, thanks to it being 4 years than Sherry does on his 2 years. And I think they're trying to shed Sherry's contract because Carter Rowney, Tom Kuhnhackl, and Riley Sheehan are all free agent forwards. They're all UFA. They couldn't afford to keep them unless they bring them back for less money. Jamie Alexiak's still out there as a restricted free agent. So the Penguins are in an interesting spot right now. What are they going to do? Who might they get rid of? Who might they keep? In order to look at this, I'll say this. Bryan Rust is a guy that I like. And I've liked Bryan Rust for a long time. And I think he's a very useful forward. I also think that he's one of those wingers that's benefited from playing with the Penguins. When you're playing with guys like Malkin and Crosby, and even on the third line, you're still getting pretty decent shots, and you're still getting a pretty decent chance. Whether it was with Shan earlier in the year, or it's with Brassard towards the end of the year, wingers in Pittsburgh are going to get paid sort of like, Burrows put up a lot of really, really solid seasons with the Sedin twins. So when Alex Burrows got a lot of money, he in part owed that to the Sedin twins. Bryan Rust, to me, his position with the team, I don't know that, let's say he played for a Detroit. If he'd started his career there, I don't know if he's worth $3.5 million a year for 4 years. If he'd played his entire career in Detroit, but having played in Pittsburgh, and at different points in time having been a key member of Stanley Cup winning teams, he's getting paid like it. And he only had 13 goals and 38 points last year. But again, we know he can score. We know he's a good player, and we know he has a lot of useful parts of his game. So I don't think he's overpaid. And I think, while we can look at the term and say that might be maybe 1 year more than he might have got, say, 5-10 years ago in negotiations, it's market value. So where the Penguins find themselves now is they have $5 million left, and they have a few roster spots to fill, unless they just bring in the rookies to fill those spots. But even then, rookies, you're looking at, $850K each. If there's 3 rookies, that's 2.4. Like, they don't have any kind of cap flexibility to make the improvements that they need to make. You look at that blue line in the playoffs against Washington, and it wasn't good enough. And when you're looking at it, and it's fine to look at Bryan Rust and say he's worth the money, and I'm perfectly fine with that. You got Letang at 7.2, Schultz at 5.5, Dumoulin at 4.1, and Mata at $4 million, Hunwick at 2.25, Ruedel at $650,000, and Alexiak is out there yet to be signed as a restricted free agent with arbitration rights. That's an expensive blue line when you consider that was a big part of their Achilles heel against the Washington Capitals. I really think that if they can move somebody off that blue line, I have a funny feeling that they will. Because they do need to sign guys up front. They're going to need to replace the guys who are leaving if they don't keep Kuhnhackl. If Rowney and Sheehan are on their way out. Rowney they can bring back for cheap, but Kuhnhackl, I don't know. Do they bring him back at all? Because I know there were Penguins fans complaining about his play during the season and in the playoffs. And Sheehan, how much is he worth right now? So there's some questions yet to be answered by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it'll be interesting to see what they do in the coming week. But signing Bryan Rust to me was a no-brainer. They had to bring him back. Very good top 9 forward who can play top line minutes when needed. Let me know what you guys think about this. We know how you guys feel about the $3.5 million a year. And if you're a Penguins fan, are you glad he's signed for 4 more years? Is that more than you would have given him? I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. I have a funny feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of these over the next, 4 days? And then on that 5th day, that's July 1st, and that's when all the fun starts with the free agents. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.